show, Tony goes one-on-one with Bob Costas. Access Hollywood anchor Nancy O'Dell with the latest on your favorite celebrities. Food Network's Marc Summers unwraps your favorite holiday foods. And the music of Michael Feinstein. Now, here's your host, Tony Danza.
Hello, happy Monday. Happy Monday, everyone. Thanks. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining me. Say hello to my sidekick. We just got Kelly. I got Rocky. Hey, Rock. Hey, babe. How's it going? Oh! That was a little more than a love nip. What's your problem? What's your problem? No? All right, that's better. Nice talking to you. Oh, no, you know, Rocky's grandmother sent gifts for my grandson. Look. Look here, look. This is Rocky says, who's the boss? See that? Yeah, look. Got shirts. Rocky shirts. Excuse me. And we got a little onesie, I guess it's good. Speaking of my grandson, let me just show you this. I got 2 more pictures. And by the way, the woman who took this, the photographer, is a wonderful woman. Her name is Jennifer Carrillo from the Bella Rosa photo studio. Look at that. Look at that little face. Jennifer Carrillo, I mean. Look, Jennifer. Jennifer, great pictures. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You see this? I've had this for 2 years now. 2 years. Somebody gave it to me 2 years ago. And I realize now, I realize why I still have it. I can't open it. Look at this. Is this crazy? I got to get one of those things, man. I hurt my back just then. Oh. Hey, guess what? We got a great giveaway today, folks. I'm so excited about this. This is cool. This is called Poetry Speaks to Children, and it's a great poetry book. I mean, you know, Robert Frost, and I mean, and it also comes with a CD, and it's wonderful. And it comes from, where does it come from? Source Books, and it's a gift for everybody in the studio today. So, thanks for being here. Thank you, Source Books. I appreciate it. I got a letter from 3 ladies. I guess they were here. They couldn't get a picture with me, but look what they did here. What's their names? Do you know what their names are? You don't? We have their. Here they are. They put themselves in my picture. So. And remember we told you about this Mr. Potato Head? First of all, you know, I didn't notice it has my finger, and it has tap shoes. I didn't even realize that. But now you know. There's also this, from Jay Leno to Paul Newman on there they have, right? Guess who's got the highest bid right now? Ah, that's right, the winner. If you want to bid, I guess, where do you go? You go to playschool.com, and it benefits Boundless Playground, so it's a great cause. And you can take home my potato head, and look, my butt opens up. Let's see, what else is happening? What a weekend I had. I had such a crazy weekend. You know, Saturday I went to see Walk the Line, you know, because Frank Pesh gave that great review the other day. Wow, what a great movie. Really terrific movie. Joaquin Phoenix really does turn into Johnny Cash, and it's about 10 minutes they could have taken out in his descent. You wish he'd get there already, but it was fabulous. I mean, he turns into Johnny Cash, and she, I have to tell you, I only met Reese Witherspoon once. I did a reading of a script at Jim Brooks's house, and she was one of the cast that read the script, and I met her. She was really nice, but she's so good in this movie. She just becomes June Carter Cash. She sings they both sing unbelievably, but there's a beauty, something beautiful about her performance that's really, it's unmistakable. It's really something. So congratulations. You want to see a good movie? That's a good one. I mean it. Then I came out. I was going to see Syriana. I was going to go do one of those movie things where you go from movie to movie. I came outside at 1:30. I went to the 11 o'clock movie. Jerry couldn't make the 11 o'clock movie. But anyway, I went to the, it was on at 2 o'clock with Syriana, George Clooney's movie. I didn't go. Not because he stood me up either. That's something else. But no, I came outside. It was such a beautiful day Saturday in New York. It was gorgeous. It was sunny and cold, a little breezy, so I put on my skates. I went to the park. park was unbelievable. The trees are hanging on to the last leaves for dear lives. And dear life, they have like a little, so there's a little color. There's color on the ground because a lot of the leaves are down. And you know, you're skating downhill by the baseball parks going towards Columbus Circle. And that cold breeze, wind is in your face. And you can hardly see the pavement because it's so sunny. It was so beautiful. And then it snowed the next day, and now it's white out there. We got some snow here in New York. So it's just, if you get to New York, come see the park right now. It just couldn't be more beautiful. Then I went to the Sunday morning. I did the children. You know, when you grew up in New York here, when I was a kid, there used to be these commercials for the Children's Aid Society. And what it is an organization that helps provide children with health care, with health insurance and health care. And it's been going on, I think it's 170 years old. And they have a thing called Miracle on Madison Avenue. And I was there yesterday for the ribbon cutting. And what it is the weather wasn't great, but there was a lot of people out there. And there's an alliance of 125 stores on Madison Avenue and the Children's Aid Society. And everybody, anything that they sell, they give a certain amount of the proceeds of their receipts right to the Children's Aid Society. I think last year they raised $200,000. So it's a great organization. The Bank of New York is the sponsor, and it was really nice to be out there. It's an interesting moment, though. I'm looking in the crowd, not a big crowd, but a crowd, and it's raining, people have umbrellas and stuff, and I see this really cool hat. Somebody with a hat, and my eye is drawn to the hat. You know, it's like a fedora. And it was Gay Talese, the writer, you know, Gay Talese, who wrote, by the way, one of the great stories of all time, a story called Frank Sinatra Has a Cold. But anyway, he's got a new book coming out. I ended up, interviewing Gay Talese in the street while I was there. I knocked that off, too, while I was there. But so it was nice to see Gay yesterday. Wait, I got to keep going, because I got no time. I was supposed to go to Peter Cincotti's house to eat yesterday at his mother's house with his grandmother, and I didn't go, not because he was cooking, but I had to go to an event last night for Judith Light, who received an award from the Israeli Cancer Research Fund, and she got an awareness in the arts, and it's good because she is an aware person. She really is. She has a lot of awareness, and I got to say some Jewish words, you know, because she taught me spilkus and how to cavell, and she made me verklempt. And right now, she's watching. She's going, "Oh, very good, honey." You know, Ben Brampman was the MC, and he's not bad. He's pretty funny for a lawyer. Anyway, what do you think? It's time to play? Time to play the game. Time to play a game where a home viewer can win up to $1 million. No, up to $5. Rocky, just want to see if you were listening. But up to $5,000 on a Disney Visa gift card. It's a little game we like to call. Okay. Oh, on the phone we have Lisa Blankenship from Cresco, Iowa. She watches us on KTTC Channel 10. Hello, Lisa.
Hi, Tony.
Where is Cresco?
Northeast Iowa.
Northeast Iowa, near Dubuque?
No, more north than that.
More north than Dubuque. How? I don't know. I'm trying to realize how could it be more? All right. What is it near? Anything near? I mean, pretty small
about
town.
An hour away from Rochester, Minnesota.
Uh-huh. A pretty small town, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many people live there? I'm just interested because, you know, I went to school in Iowa.
I think around 3,000.
Oh, I said that's small. Okay. Anyway, we got to find out how much you're playing for, Lisa. Is it cold there today?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Very cold.
Okay. Let's see. We have our audience member, Puck Dropper, here today. Christine Oster from Auburn, New York. Christine, hello. Hi, Christine. Take a puck, please. Christine, drop it. Bombs away. 5,000. Oh, so close. All right, Lisa, you're playing for $1,500 on a Disney Visa gift card. What is it you are an expert in?
Reality shows.
Reality TV shows. Ooh. All right. Who were the members of Team... Of course I get this question. Who were the members of Team Guido? Heads will roll on the first season of The Amazing Race. Team Guido. You gotta figure Nikki and Vinny and... No, it's not. Ready? Come on, take a guess. Give me the man. I'll give you one shot. Go. There's two of them.
Bill.
Huh?
Bill.
Yeah, and? You're gonna run out of time. They're gonna run me out of the studio here.
I got Joe.
That's right. You win. How's that? Good.
Oh, thank you.
I know. Right now, congratulations. You just won $1,500, but Disney Visa is mad at me. Thank you so much for playing, Lisa. Congratulations. Have a nice day. No, it's Christine, right? Christine, thank you so much for playing. And you know what you get? You get a $200 gift certificate to Pier 1 Imports. So thanks a lot. All right. When we come back, Bob Costas is here. So stick with us.
Still to come, Access Hollywood anchor Nancy O'Dell with the latest on your favorite celebrities.
My first guest is a respected journalist known for his keen wit, perspicacious insight, and perfect hair. By covering countless World Series, Super Bowls, NBA championships, and the Olympics, he's had a front row seat to some of the most memorable events in sports history. Now he hosts his own show on HBO called Costas. Now, please welcome Bob Costas. To the show. Thanks for being here.
These are real.
These are real apples.
They have the polished look of fake fruit, but no, real.
Real apples. Yes, and this is a real table.
Oh, it's impressive.
Table.
And
it's vodka.
Actual water.
Yeah. So, good to see you. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, everything's real good. Costas Now. Wasn't it on the record a minute ago?
It was on the record up until last year. And then they took it from a weekly show that ran for 12 weeks in the spring and then disappeared to a monthly show.
Oh, I see.
So it's still 12 shows, but it's spread out over a full year. And because of that momentous change, they thought it needed a new name.
New name, new name. And does the name Now mean, does it change anything, or is it basically the same show?
There's some changes in the format, but it's basically the same thing that I've always done, because what am I going to do, come out and juggle?
No,
you know, I do what I do.
It's funny you mention that, though.
Oh, that's impressive.
All right, let me go back a little bit, okay? Let's go back. You get your first job as radio job, right?
Right.
For the St. Louis Spirits?
Actually, I broadcast minor league hockey in Syracuse, New York, when I was still a student in college. And then I went to St. Louis in 1974. I did the Spirits of St. Louis of the ABA on the radio.
So you did the, you went to the University of Syracuse?
I did.
Okay,
yeah.
So you knew then you wanted to be a broadcaster?
Yeah. When I figured out when I was about 10 or 11 that it was unlikely that I would replace Mickey Mantle as the center fielder for the Yankees, I thought I had a better chance to be Mel Allen or Red Barber or Vin Scully if that was the way I was going to get into a ballpark for free than to be Mickey Mantle or Willie Mays.
And were those the guys that were your inspiration?
Yeah, guys like Marty Glickman growing up here in New York, did the Knicks, Lindsey Nelson, Jim McKay, Jack Buck, all those old line guys, Jack Whitaker.
Mel Allen, I remember being a kid and hearing the three-ring sign of Ballantine, yeah.
Yeah, a Ballantine blast, a White Owl wallop on. I always wondered, you know, during a doubleheader, if in fact the Yankees hit 6 or 7 home runs and every one was a Ballantine blast and Mel really was downing a Ballantine, how coherent the broadcast would be by about the 6th or 7th inning of the second game.
It might have got better.
I think it did, actually.
Yeah. But I find it fascinating that that's why. I mean, why? I mean, I know the sports thing, you know, you weren't going to be Mickey Mantle, but really, why did that touch you? When
I was a kid, and even now to a certain extent, I couldn't separate the broadcast from the event itself. And when you think about some of the great moments in history, Bobby Thompson's home run, the Giants win the pennant, Al Michaels' call, Do You Believe in Miracles at the 1980 Olympics, Kirk Gibson's home run in '88, Vin Scully on television, Jack Buck on radio. When you see those moments on ESPN Classic, if you remove the call, the emotion and the sense of time and place isn't there. So even as a kid, you know, I'd take a tennis ball, throw it up against the wall, or a Spalding, you know, and throw it against the stoop. You're playing stickball in the street. The sound of the announcer was going through my head, you know, and I'm sure you did the same thing.
You're right. No, I used to shoot baskets in the backyard. It's 2-1, and he makes the shot. Yeah. Or he misses the shot, in my case. But so there's an emotional tie. Yeah. Right? Okay. Do these things, when you're covering them, affect you emotionally? And like what are some of the ones that have if they did?
Less so now than they used to, but there are still some moments, and that's the great thing about sports. As flawed as it may be and all the complaints that we may have about it, there are still some genuine moments because it's a drama without a script that cut through all the hype and the crassness. When Ali lit the torch in '96 at the opening ceremony of the Olympics in Atlanta, Dick Enberg and I were describing it, and no one knew that it was going to be Ali. Literally 3 or 4 people. It was the best kept secret. And we didn't know for sure who it was going to be. And when he stepped out of the shadows, you know, his hands trembling that way, and walked with the torch, which he took from Janet Evans, the Olympic swimmer, and lit the torch. That was one of the most magnificent moments I've ever seen.
Right, right. What do you think? Just now you got me thinking about Ali. What do you think about Ali? Well, I mean, you know, think about, they just opened his...
yeah, I was there.
You were there. They opened a big museum, basically.
Right, museum in Louisville, Kentucky, his hometown.
And it speaks not only to the good that we all feel for Ali now, but it speaks to when he wasn't such a...
They're very honest about his life. You know, now because of the passage of time and because of his affliction, he's almost a universally admired figure.
Right.
But those of us old enough to remember what it was like in the 60s, you and I and younger people may have supported him, but a huge portion of America reviled him, and he was a very controversial figure, and they acknowledged that as well as some of his personal flaws.
Right. You know, I remember I did a USO thing after the first Gulf War, and there were all these soldiers who had come back from the war, and other people. It was a USO show, and the president was there, and a few presidents were there, and he got the biggest hand from the soldiers, and I was wondering what do you think that conversion, how did that conversion happen to that extent?
You know, I think that people recognize the difference between somebody who dodged military service and someone who stood on principle. I think when people call Ali a draft dodger, that doesn't really make much sense because he stood and said no, could have gone to jail, didn't know for sure that he wasn't. He didn't escape to Canada. And he didn't make up some crazy deferment, you know, reason to be deferred, or go, you know, take 16 graduate courses and stay out of school, stay out of service, like some people who now send men and women to war. He stood and accepted the consequences, and one of the consequences was that they stripped him of his title. The Supreme Court eventually restored it, but they stripped him of his title. He lost 3 years of earning power and
probably
gave up three or four best athletic years of his life. And I think people respect, even if they disagreed with him at the time, they respect someone who stands on principle. Not many athletes today are about anything beyond themselves. He and other athletes of his time, Kurt Flood, Bill Russell, Billie Jean King, people like that, they were about things larger than themselves.
And it's because of them that these guys are able to do what they do now.
In large part, yeah.
In large part. Well, I'm going to come back and talk more with Bob Costas. This is so much fun. Don't go away.
This week, from the Today Show, everyone's favorite weatherman, Al Roker.
He's an Emmy winner, a Golden Globe winner. John Lithgow's on Tony Live. And country music with Big and Rich.
Move the couch and get down.
Plus, Tony gets the celebrity gossip from Jeannie Wolf. And from the movie Red, Adam Pascal. Next, Tony.
We're back. We're back with Bob Costas. And Bob, we were talking about, you know, we're going to talk more about this. We want to talk about the state of baseball. But I was looking at your book, and there's an interesting dedication in the book. I had Joe Torre on the other day, and it's what it struck me. He has his foundation, and it basically comes Save at Home, which basically comes out of his relationship with his father, or lack thereof. And you have a dedication in your book, and it says something to the effect of. To John who
saw the dice go cold too often.
Yeah.
My father was a compulsive gambler. He passed away when I was a senior in high school. He was only 42 years old. He was an extremely charismatic guy, funny, dynamic personality, very smart, and he was a compulsive gambler. Now, sometimes that led to humorous situations. He wasn't a racetrack guy. He wasn't a craps guy or a poker guy. It was all betting on ball games, baseball, football, basketball games. And so we'd have, this is before the internet, before ESPN, we'd have 2 radios and a television going. He literally would have me climb up on the roof and spin the antenna around. We lived on Long Island, you know, try to get on a black and white.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Try to get on a black and white TV screen, some station from Connecticut that might carry the Red Sox, or see if we could pull in the Phillies from Philadelphia to follow his bets. I would go out in a car where radio reception was better, and I remember once trying to get a Montreal Canadiens score for him, and I got the game in French. And I'm, le Canadien, the Maple Leaf, you know, all right, I got it. The Canadians are winning 2-1. I'd run back in, and I guess those were my first days as a reporter.
I listen.
Yeah, and
everything is applicable, you know. And what about your relationship with him, though? I mean,
well, he was volatile, and his moods depended upon how the bets would go.
Yeah, because it seems to me that that line also, the dice grew cold often, meant that there were times when they were hot. They had to be hot to get cold, right?
Oh, yeah. I remember one time in 1965, at the beginning of the baseball season, I was 13 years old. He won 17 consecutive baseball bets, which is impossible.
It's pretty hard to do.
The odds against that are just astronomical. And this is 1965, all right? And he'd have $2,000, $3,000 of action going in a day, and he made about 30 grand a year. You figure it out.
Wow.
The mortgage is riding on that weekend's, you know, whether Whitey Ford can get Harmon Killebrew out depends on whether or not we can pay the mortgage. And I went with him to Brooklyn, where he met the bookie to collect. And the bookie met us at a donut shop in Brooklyn. And after some pleasantries, he slides a brown paper bag across the counter to my dad. And in that bag was $14,000 in $100 bills, tax-free, 1965. And my dad went out to the car, and underneath a street lamp in Brooklyn, on an early spring night, it looked like something out of film noir. I remember it in black and white. That's how it is in my memory. He counted out $14,000 in $100 bills. And at that moment, even though in retrospect I realized this was a destructive force in his life, at that moment he was the most romantic man on the face of the earth to me. I mean, he just felt heroic to me.
That's, you know, a lot of the, I remember nothing but the good. That's the thing you know, we were talking with Joe Torre. It's funny that, I mean, my father had his moods, his swings, obviously, but I just remember the good. And that's the way I kind of like it.
I remember it all, but I give the good the upper shelf.
That's right. Maybe that's what I mean. So let's see. Oh, by the way, LaDuca is coming to the Mets. Paul LaDuca, who
They're over the hump. They got another paisan.
The curse was on the Dodgers, so now, all right.
But how come your buddy Lasorda couldn't swing it so that Valentine could come back and manage the Dodgers?
I saw Tommy at the NIAF dinner, and I don't know. He's under the gun over there. The Giants and the Bears won yesterday. Looks like a great playoffs, don't you think? Congratulations. And what else? Oh, and there was a bad fight again. A bad fight Saturday night.
I hosted that fight for HBO.
Oh, you did?
Bernard Hopkins against Jermaine Taylor. They're both excellent fighters. Hopkins almost 41 and still has a whole lot of skill, but it's not an exciting fight. It's a tactical.
Over.
It's not. You know what? I wouldn't.
I want to forget that. What stories are coming up on a new show?
Well, Tom Brady was named today by Sports Illustrated as the Sportsman of the Year. So this Friday's Costas Now has a big section about Tom Brady and whatever else is going on in sports.
All right. And he's a terrific guy, huh?
He is a good guy.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, Bob, I wish I had more time. We could talk to you all day, really.
We're not going to play 9 and 90?
Oh, wait a minute. We're going to play 9 and 90? Okay, let's play 9 and 90.
All right.
From your old show. I'm sorry. You used to do this on the old show.
Absolutely.
Okay, here we go. Got 90 seconds to answer all these questions. All right. What do you read first in the morning, the sports page or the front page?
Usually the front page, not always.
Not always, okay. Should the NBA, do you like the dress code of the NBA? Penny Marshall loves it.
Yeah, I think David Stern should be required to dress like the average NBA player.
All right. If you had to teach a course in any subject, if you could teach a course in any subject, what would it be?
60s top 40 music.
60s top 40. What's your favorite? Give me one of your favorite 60s top 40 music songs.
You've Lost That Love and Feeling by the Righteous Brothers.
Did you read comic books growing up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who was your character?
I like Batman and Superman, but I give Batman the edge because he had to be more resourceful. Superman could do anything.
Everything, yeah.
Batman had to be, you know, clever. Plus, he lived in a cave, seemed cool. On the other hand, so does Bin Laden, so maybe it's not so cool.
If you had to record, I'd like to get that guy. If you had to record one song, what would it be? If you could record one song, what would it be? You're gonna make a record.
Baby Got Back by Sir Mix-a-Lot. I think people want to hear my take on that. They'd like to hear me cover that.
All right, what would you have rather been born yourself or a foot taller?
Well, you know, if I was a foot taller, I'd have to get all new clothes. It'd be very inconvenient.
Yeah, see, I'm glad. And how many have we finished? Or you got one more? One more? Okay. What do you think of Pete Rose?
I think he should, until he's fully proved he's reformed. I understand why he should be banned from baseball, but I think he should be eligible for the Hall of Fame based on what he did as a player.
That sounds it. That's it. Glad we got to play 9 and 9. Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Tony.
Costas Now airs every month on HBO. Bob, thank you so much. We'll be right back. Hey, take a shot of this. This is somebody's been where I've been talk about her. These are friends of mine. Hilda, oh, look at that. And Claudia, dear friend, parts of my family. Thanks for being here, guys. Let's see, you know, every Christmas, dinners across the country are filled with traditional fare, from eggnog to fruitcake. Ever wonder how these foods ended up at your table on Christmas? Here to let us know the history of holiday treats is host of Food Network series Unwrapped. Please welcome back to the show, my friend Marc Summers. Hello, Marc.
Danza, how are you?
Happy holidays.
Same to you. What are you doing for the holidays?
I'm going to go skiing.
Where?
I'm going to get on around. I'm going to go to Utah and do a little bit of skiing. Try to miss the trees.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Done
that now. I did that. What about you? What are you doing?
Just kind of relaxing. I've been working so much this year. I'm going to take 2 weeks off, spend with the family. But I was out shopping in New York Saturday. You would have thought they were giving the stuff away. Yeah. It was insane the way that people were.
We're shopping up, and that's why we did this this children's aid thing down on Madison Avenue. So if you want to shop, you're going to shop anyway. Go down there and help the kids. Yeah.
I like the fireplace.
Like that, we have a fireplace. Yeah. Tough to get a fireplace in New York.
Yes,
that's all I can say.
It's another $1,000 a month.
How is your family? Everybody good?
Everybody is good. My son's working. My daughter graduates from college in May. Me and my wife are celebrating 31 years married, so, you know, everything is good.
Beautiful. All right. Yep. Take us through some of the history. What do you say?
All right. Well, let's talk about Christmas. 1836, Alabama was the first state to say Christmas is a holiday, and it wasn't until 1870 when Ulysses S. Grant, as president, said, it's a national holiday. Not that long. It's hard to believe.
No, I think it is. And, you know, there's this big controversy now about happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
I think it's silly.
It's so silly.
I mean, it's just Christmas, right, folks?
That's so.
It's Christmas.
All right.
I know. Now,
a wreath. I got a wreath on my door. What does it mean?
It means good luck. It means health for the new year. And Christmas lights, which we see here, although they're not turned on, first started about...
Heads will roll.
In 1882, Thomas Alva Edison lived on Fifth Avenue, and he had them made about 3 years after he made the light bulb, and he stopped traffic. People had never seen anything like that.
Light up their houses.
Absolutely.
But, you know, right now, a couple of my friends, Bobby Guvinelli and Bruce Weinberg, are having a competition on who can do how many lights. One guy's got 6,000 lights.
It's expensive. It does. And candy canes, over 2 billion are made every year worldwide. And they look at that. Now, they didn't start off looking like this. They were first just white sticks of candy. Take a look at that. Nobody knows when the red came in and when the peppermint came in.
That's how they make them, huh?
And in 1670, what happened was a choir master in Cologne, Germany, decided to put the crook in it to make it look like a shepherd's staff. And during the nativity service, he would hand these out to kids. But it has gotten crazy, Tony. Take a look at these. There's a lady by the name of Louisa Davis at Elegant Gourmet who decided to do...
This is candy.
It's candy, folks. And you have to make this rather quickly because when it comes out, it's rather warm and you can mold it just like that. But if you wait too long, it gets too firm and you can't do it. Now, in 1956, there was a company out of Bristol, Tennessee. Look at these. Aren't these beautiful? They're baskets.
This is a basket, really? Oh, look at that.
And what happened was they were trying to find out a way to give the teachers of their daughters unique Christmas gifts. They came up with these. They make 30,000 now every Christmas season. Those are beautiful.
All right.
Eggnog.
My favorite.
Is it really?
One of my favorite things. I like eggnog.
Little history about eggnog. Nog and grog, okay, was a very strong beer that was made back in England. And most of the time, this was for very wealthy people in England because they're the only ones who had refrigeration. Want to make a toast? To your health?
Yes.
Your happiness?
And then your family.
Thank you. Yours too.
Now you put a little brandy in this.
Well, let me tell you, George Washington, our first president, loved to make eggnog with little extra bonus here.
Oh, good.
So I
knew
some with you.
I was going to say. Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
Now let's make a toast.
There you go. To you.
Hey, everybody.
Much better, right?
Much better. Much better. Okay.
All right. What do you want to talk about? Turkeys.
Now, wait a minute. This is a new thing. It's called a jive turkey. What's a jive turkey?
Deep fried turkeys. They make them here in Brooklyn. They cook these things in 18 to 24 minutes. And it's hard to believe, but they make it on a peanut oil. See it right over there? They cook them in peanut oil. It takes about 18 to 24 minutes, as I said. You want to take a bite out of that?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Those are really unbelievable. Turkey is big now. Consumption is up 200% over the last 30 years. More white meat. There's 70% white meat, 30% dark meat, and the white meat is actually more healthful for you, fewer calories. What do you think?
What is it, like a...
That's an almond.
It's pecan, I think.
Yeah, oh, pecan, rather, yeah.
Oh,
And
it's delicious.
They also have bourbon in some of theirs. And during St. Patrick's Day, they make them green, which is rather nice.
That's all right.
Stuffing, we're running out of time here, but stuffing, the lady who created stuffing, and I want to get her name right, it is Ruth Seams, died a week before Thanksgiving. So we are saluting Ruth Seams for making stuffing.
Ruth.
Let's give Ruth.
Ruth, hello, Ruth. To you, Ruth. Hey, Ruth.
Yeah, that's it.
Ruth, you're having a good day.
Hey, Tony, let me help you out here.
Hey, Ruth.
A little more there.
Hey, Ruth. Hey, Marc.
Yes.
You know, you got stuffing, now you got crunchy onion toppers, right?
Onion toppers, they make green bean casseroles. 40 million will be made over the holidays. It takes 28 hours to make a can of these things because they have to take all the moisture out. And the question people always ask is, when the workers go into the factory, do they cry? And for the first 5 to 7 minutes every day, the people who go into these onion factories do cry till their body acclimates. We're going to talk about fruitcakes because fruitcakes...
I just want to, do we have to give Mrs. Cubison's Mrs.
Cubison, we can, yeah.
Mrs. Cubison's a plug?
We will give her a plug. She was nice enough to help us out with this.
Thank you. Now, fruitcakes.
Yes.
Fruitcakes.
Fruitcakes. The ancient Egyptians said they were the food that you needed in the afterlife.
Yeah, I know.
Do you like food?
You could keep them that long, too, you know.
That's it.
I got one from about 22 years ago in my...
And the reason they last is the highest sugar content, very little moisture, so the mold does not form. They last forever. You know the old joke, there's one fruitcake and we all give them to each other over and over again. And I got to tell you, we were going to do a little toss at the end.
No, I don't want to toss.
And we're not going to toss fruitcakes because Tony...
People are hungry.
That's right. Tony is, you were talking about Yiddish words, you're a mensch, and he didn't want to toss food at this time of year. So I'm going to give these fruitcakes to the people in the audience.
Oh, great. All right. Hey, everyone in the audience is going home with a great candy cane tree and fruitcakes. And you can catch Marc on Food Network's Unwrapped Mondays at 9 p.m. and on the next Foods Network Star. How's that show going?
It's going great. We're doing new episodes. It'll start again in March, so stay tuned for that.
I wish you the best. Have a happy holiday.
Okay. There you go.
We'll be right back. I was talking to the audience, just telling the audience that I watched Taxi this morning at 4:30, and there was this great line in there that Zena was getting married, and Louis finds out about it, and Alex tells him to say, happiness is hard to find in this life, and you've given me more than my share. And you have. In 10 years on Entertainment News Magazine, Access Hollywood, our next guest has interviewed everyone from Jennifer Aniston to Richard Gere to Julia Roberts to yours truly, to name just a few. Please welcome Nancy O'Dell. Hello, Nancy. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much,
Thank you
Tony.
so much
Good to
for
see
being.
you.
Thank you. Yes, it's good to see you as well. We was talking backstage. 10 years you've been doing this.
10 years.
10 years. That's from the first day of that show, right?
From the very first day on Access Hollywood. Of course, I was 19 years old when I started.
Yeah, no, of course. I thought 12
I
or
love
something.
that only a few of them left. That's good.
And did you always want? Was this something that you always, thought you'd do? Is this something that you said, I'm going to be Nancy O'Dell on Access Hollywood? I mean,
you know, I didn't. I actually started out in marketing. I majored in marketing at Clemson University.
Summa cum laude, right? Yeah, summa cum laude at Clemson. Please, for those of us begging for a B+, please. You know, please let me out. You know, that's amazing. That's great.
But, you know, I started in marketing, and then I started at a small TV station in South Carolina, and I was actually selling advertisement. And because it was so small, you didn't require any experience. In fact, you could run the teleprompter with your foot as you're doing it. And they said, well, you just do these cut-ins on the weekend. And so I was out, like, shooting the camera. I was, like, doing everything in a small market. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
And so then a little bit bigger station called, and then an agent from L.A. called when I was at a bigger station, and that brought me to L.A.
Yeah, and
so I kind of wound up there by accident.
That's
and what
amazing.
a great run it's
but
been.
it's funny when you start out in some of those small markets and you do all the jobs.
Oh, you do everything.
Yeah, and then but that ends up being tremendous, you know, training ground for what you end up doing, right?
It really is, because you appreciate what everybody else does.
Right.
And you kind of understand when the cameraman is getting a certain angle or getting the shot. You understand why they're doing it, because you used to edit and produce the pieces and everything. In fact, I can remember focusing on the tripod with the camera and running around to do the stand-up in front of it. That's how much you do.
That's great. Do you love this job?
I do. I love the job. I mean, it's, you know, what, you get paid to go interview Brad Pitt and George Clooney and Tom Cruise and Richard Gere. It's tough, isn't it?
Very good. Who lately? Who do you like? I mean, you've interviewed everybody. Who do you enjoy the most? Do you enjoy anybody more than others?
I
mean, not that you gotta, you know.
I have memorable interviews.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always enjoyed Richard Gere just because I've been a fan for so long. But a memorable one that I have is Jack Nicholson, and I think the reason that it's so memorable is just because. For the fact that I got the interview.
Number one.
And there's a little secret behind how the producers at Access think that I got the interview.
Do you want to tell us?
It's not what you think. No, I see all you people out there.
That's what I was going to say. You don't want to tell us?
No, I can tell you. The producer calls me up and he goes, we're going to this event where Jack Nicholson is being honored by the LAPD. Jack Nicholson being honored by the LAPD is kind of funny. And he goes, we're going to go. And I go, but he doesn't do interviews. And I said, you know, am I going to go? And he goes, well, can you just do me a favor? And I said, what? And he goes, will you wear a low-cut dress? And I went, I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm fine with everything, but I'm not exactly Dolly Parton. So I'm thinking, like, is this even going to work? But
you reeled him in, huh? You did, huh?
Well, we wound up getting the interview, and he talked to us for like 20 minutes, and I thought, hey, maybe I got those Janet Jackson.
Anybody? Well, let's see. I was going to ask you, anybody you dying to interview, you haven't interviewed?
You know, I would really like to interview Michael Jackson. I just think that I'm one of those people who thinks he's very misunderstood. I think there's a side of him that we have never seen. I think there's a normal side to him that we've never seen. And he
hides it pretty well, that normal side.
This is true.
I mean, I know.
But I do think that there is, and the reason that I say that I've interviewed all of his family members at so many different times. And you think about it, the man was a star at the age of 5. So he's got to be...
Huge star.
A huge star at the age of 5. Who can lead a normal life after that? And Janet and I were talking after an interview one time, and she was
Don't drop names like that.
Well, my friend Janet and I.
Janet and I. You know, don't drop names. My friend Bobby De Niro told me that.
Yes, exactly. Bobby.
No, but...
we were talking after. She was saying what a great guy he is. And that was after off camera, so...
Why do you think we're so... Or are we too obsessed with celebrity? And why do you think we are?
There is a big obsession, obviously, because there wouldn't be my show, so thank goodness that there is, in a way.
There's a lot of shows. I mean, it's not just one show.
There's a lot of shows and a ton of magazines.
Ton of magazines. It seems like it's an insatiable appetite for it.
I say this often, and I've thought about it so many times doing what I do, because I think that there should be that same fascination with the person who performed the first heart transplant, you know, but they're not. And I think what it is that people think that these celebrities live perfect lives. And so if something goes wrong, let's say that Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt split up, and you don't understand why they were split up, even though some of the men are going, oh, Angelina Jolie. But
yeah, some guys think they would just treat it, you know.
Yeah, but you go, look at these two people. They're beautiful. They have the most incredible job. They have the great lives, and so you become fascinated because I think that we tend to live vicariously through them.
You think, huh? So our reality is not as attractive, as appealing as theirs to us? Is that what you're saying?
That we think that their reality is better than ours, when in reality, as they will tell you, they tend to live very normal lives, even though it's difficult for them to. But I mean, they put on their pants the same way.
Oh no, they're human, and living under the magnifying glass must be pretty tough.
Yeah, it's very tough.
Especially on
and I think a lot of them don't realize that. You know, they strive and strive and strive to be this incredible actor or actress, and all of a sudden they get it, and all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, paparazzi showing up when I am out in my backyard lying.
Me, I'm telling you, I look for the paparazzi. I'm telling you. Got my shirt off, trying to find them. Listen, thank you, Nancy. I wish I had more time. Access Hollywood is weeknights, and the weekend edition is on, so check your local listing. Nancy O'Dell, we'll be right back.
Each time I look at you is like the first time. Each time I'm near you, the thrill is new. And there is nothing that I wouldn't do for the rare delight of the sight of you. For the more I see you, the more I want you. Somehow this feeling just grows and grows with every sigh. I become more mad about you, more lost without you, and so it goes. Can you imagine how much I love you? As years go by, I know the only one for me can only be you. My arms won't free you, my heart won't try. My arms won't free you. My heart won't try.
I'm a little short of time. The CD, Michael Feinstein, George Shearing, Hopeless Romantics, is in stores now. For tickets to the show, go to Feinstein's at the Regency.com. And don't forget to miss the duet with his father. It's terrific. Thank you, Michael. We'll be right back. Go! I want to thank my guests, Bob Costas, Marc Summers, Nancy O'Dell, and Michael Feinstein. Studio audience, you've been great. Thank you so much. That's Nadia DiGelato. I'll see you tomorrow. Hilda's here. Bye.